so everybody can get an understanding of what was going on at the time, who the players were, why events happened a certain way. The Bruno murder was one, and shed light on Connecticut. I'm also going to have a co-host in Connecticut when I explain the Connecticut Gangsters.
Right?
Jimmy,
I'm excited about that. Really excited about that.
And I'm also going to be doing this content is going to be with only people that were around me, that had dealings with me, that were somebody that was in that life.
Correct.
It's going to be, if you weren't, it's going to be, some stories are going to be, people aren't going to like the way they are, but I'm going to tell the truth. It's going to be about the truth. It's, if you were around then, whatever happened, I might not like you. I might have pled guilty to trying to murder you, but I'll still tell the truth on the story the way it is. And I don't think nobody is, I said this, I don't think no one's just touched on this area enough. And that's what I'm bringing to light when we go forward with this.
Yeah. And one thing I want to touch on too is another nice thing about Anthony doing the show is I've interviewed, you guys know, I've interviewed a lot of people, probably the most in the space, and it tends to get a little glorified at times. And I'll be the first one in the beginning. I was guilty of glorifying, getting excited about protocol, the stories, that kind of stuff. And talking to Anthony, he's not afraid to kind of say, hey, like, this wasn't good, or kind of like the real deal about real people, because we tend to glorify things a little bit. So I'm a little excited about kind of the nitty gritty details of the life, and you kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off and saying this shit wasn't good. You know what I mean?
Well, and another thing is, bringing out the content that's it's going forward is going to be true content.
Correct.
There's going to be no garbage in this channel. My channel is going to be the events that took place, and they're going to be 100% truthful of this, how everything went down. There's going to be none of the drama. The other shit that, the YouTube stuff, all that stuff will be addressed on other channels. When I go live, those things will be addressed because people have questions on live and you have to answer the questions. So when it comes to that sloppy shit, I will be addressing all that on that. But the channel itself is going to be direct, straight content of the organized crime, the life that I lived, who was around our area, shed light on Connecticut. Even though I wasn't around, like say old timers, I knew people that were around them, and stories that I had participated in with them, and just to shed light on these old timers is just, it's like going back in the day. You hear Lucky Luciano and those guys, and people tell stories on them. It's the same way, but they were notorious gangsters. Same thing in Connecticut. There was a lot of notorious guys that were old timers, and I think people would like to know who they were, even though I never met them.
Correct.
I had an uncle that was around them, and so I can comment on that aspect of it. And the channel is going to be strictly like that. All the other garbage that comes with YouTube stuff, I love that too. I was telling Tom, this reminds me of being in the life again, that part of it, because it's the treachery and the, instead of killing people with bullets, back like you would want to, you kill them with your mouth. I said in another podcast, your mouth is your machine gun today. And that's just basically what a lot of people on the the streets today are with the mouths, and it goes with the YouTube. And so that was going forward. That's that channel is going to be strictly good content.
So Anthony picked up some really nice My Father cigars. He didn't know this, because if he did, he would be a mind reader. This is actually one of my favorite cigars. It's a My Father. It's a Connecticut shade, and it smells great. It's a delicious smoke. My wife really bought me with cigars, maybe a box of cigars, maybe once. She bought me a box of cigars in Macallan 18 when my daughter was born.
Right.
And that was My Father box.
Yeah,
so,
they're good cigars.
These are beautiful cigars.
You know them.
One of my favorite.
I've been smoking them lately.